This is the real science in my field. It's called Overcoming Dyslexia by Dr. Sally Shaywitz from Yale. That's dyslexia. See how the back part of your brain has this massive neuroactivity right here?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is your brain. Massive neuroactivity. The dyslectic, nothing's going on back here essentially. But the front part of the dyslectic brain is about 2.5 times overactive. So the solution, we don't do this because we got nothing. How do you work with nothing? So then we do the front part, which is massively 2.5 times overactive. That's the secret. So what I do is the front part of the brain deals with two things: word analysis followed by articulation. But what I found is when I'm moving from the super intelligent dyslexics, the super motivated, to normal kids, that wasn't going to work. So what I had to do is I had to come up with a 3-step model. Step number one, first thing parents need to know, the schools will not do this. I'll explain why after we go through step number one. I'm going to give you an example of Casey. I want you to know I never saw this before. Casey, I will never see this again. Of the hundreds of teachers I've taught, none of them will ever see this. This is a one-off edge case to give you an example of the most important thing when dealing with dyslexics, or ADD or ADHD. I met Casey at the end of 5th grade. She was 10 years old, turned 11 over the summertime. She was reading and writing at the 2nd grade level from a lower middle class family in Midwestern United States. Casey wanted to do reading first. So she was interested in Theodore Roosevelt, so I assigned her this insane book, The Rise of Theodore Roosevelt. All 900 pages of it.
Okay.
This thing won the Pulitzer. 10th grade to first year college level, depending on who you ask. So nobody told Casey this. Nobody suggested it. This is just Casey. She took her book up to her room. I gave her a simple process to learn to read, and she sat down for 3 hours a night for the next 6 months on her own. Most of the day during the summertime, we're talking 8-10 hour days. I worked with her for 15 minutes a week. At the end of that, you could flip to this random page, point to that random word, and she'll tell you the exact dictionary definition. She jumped 8 grade levels in 6 months, and I worked with her for 15 minutes a week. And that's not the point. The point is when we moved from something she loved to something she hated, I needed to know if it transferred over. I asked her how much did her motivation drop, and she said about 50%. The most motivated kid I ever worked with. When you go to a typical dyslexic kid, or ADD or ADHD, you go outside their speciality, you're down 75 to 90%. What you need to understand is that our K through first 2 years of college educational system is all about making us well-rounded before we specialize. Exactly outside the speciality. That most kids, their motivation is down 75 to 90%. Okay, the schools will not shift over to the kid's speciality and focus just on that, like we do in grad school. As you see, that's why I did really well in grad school.